who were laid off during the shutdown and back pay. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson blames Democrats for the longest government shutdown in U.S. history.
We believe the long national nightmare will be over tonight. It was completely and foolish and pointless in the we said all along. I just want to to any Americans who are out there who still flight cancellations or delays today. I apologize. American families who were made over the last week, our troops, federal employees who are wondering where their next paycheck would come from. All of that on the Democrats. Never forget, they voted 15 times between the House and the Senate to close your government, and they're all tried every single day of the shutdown to open 10 times to do that.
Democrats point the finger at Republicans for the shutdown because of the lack of health insurance provisions and a controversial provision tucked into the Senate funding bill, allowing some senators to sue if their electronic records are obtained without their knowledge. The provision wasn't apparent once. The senators' phone records collected by FBI investigators as part of Special Jackson's investigation into Trump and the 2020 election.
And here's the Clinton, Mr. Speaker. In this CR is a corrupt kickback for 8 Republican senators, $1 million payday funded by taxpayers, taken straight from the Treasury and deposited directly into their pockets.
House Democrats are here on the Capitol steps to reiterate our strong opposition to this spending bill because it fails to address the Republican health care crisis and it fails to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Speaker Johnson says House Republicans will introduce a standalone measure to repeal this controversial provision to be voted on next week. If it's stripped from the current spending bill, the House would have to send the bill back to the Senate, extending the shutdown. Republicans also say they'll take up the health insurance issue next month. Now, if the bill in the final House vote, it will then go to President Trump for him to sign, which he has already indicated that he will. For now, reporting live here in the newsroom, Brigade, send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you so much. The Jeffrey Epstein has been rekindled in Washington. Newly released email written by Epstein mentioned President Trump's name several times. Those emails were obtained by the House Oversight Committee following a subpoena on Jeffrey Epstein's. Now, in one email that Epstein wrote to author Michael Wolff, this was 2019, Epstein said Trump knew about the girls, end quote. In another email that Epstein wrote in 2011 to confidant Ghislaine Maxwell, he suggested President Trump spent time with a victim of Epstein's sex trafficking. Now, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt released this statement. These are for President Trump's historic accomplishments, the American with common sense sees right through this hoax action from the government opening back up again. Mr. Trump has denied any involvement in or knowledge of Epstein's sex trafficking operation.
Federal officials have charged former chief of staff to Governor Gavin Newsom, Dana Williamson, with public corruption, fraud, obstruction of justice, and tax crimes. Williamson pleaded not guilty in a Sacramento federal house earlier this afternoon. He's accused of conspiring to divert $250,000 from a dormant political campaign to an additional. Also, she filed false tax, claiming more than $1 million in business deductions for personal, non-deductible expenses. Williamson left the governor's office last December. A spokesperson for Governor Newsom issued a statement saying, while we are still learning details of the allegations, the governor expects all public servants to uphold the highest standards of integrity. At a time when the president is openly calling for his attorney general to investigate his political enemies, it is to honor the American principle of being innocent until proven guilty in a court of law by a jury of one's peers. Williamson is due in court December 11th. All
right, let's turn now to local weather. We want to take you outside for a live look out over the basin there. It is, as they say, the calm before the storm has southern California.
We are going to see a rain in these. Kai Goldberg in the storm's path for us all day. Hi, Kai.
Hi, guys. Yeah, indeed. These are things that we see before the storms begin on into the southland. Things like which you're certainly seeing most of under mostly cloudy sky. Cooler temperatures and breezy conditions right now. You can expect to see the same as we make our way through the night tonight into your day morning. Start changing, so by afternoon we'll get there momentarily. It's been a pleasant day. Temperatures right there where they should be. At this time of year, below normal downtown, going to 73 degrees today when typically we hit 74. Here's a look at a little bit of a moisture plume coming through much of Los Angeles County. Being on the 5 Live Max Doppler, the radar, not much of it making its way to the ground. We've still got a very dry atmosphere and it hasn't really moistened up as of yet. 65 up in Bar, we've heard now it's 70 degrees to snow, mid 70s really throughout much of the 69 after 54. Big. Speaking of big air, not only can we have an opportunity for rain here in Southern California, but to the weekend we can get some snow up in the higher elevations. We've got a lot to go over. We're going to be on storm watch. Be back in a couple of minutes and we'll break for you. Over to you.
All right, I look forward to that. As you might expect, the storm is causing concerns tonight for residents that are living in the burn scar areas from January's devastating wildfires. Evacuation warnings have already been issued all across our region. City emergency officials say that flash flooding and debris flows, this is very possible.
And KTLADT is live from in and now with how people are preparing there.
Hi there, guys. Well, we have in the foothill right here, and just behind me you can see some of the residents here. They just started construction, so it's a very nerve-wracking situation for these people with this storm coming tomorrow, considering their properties are still very vulnerable.
Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. It's one. We live up on the foothills right at the edge of the forest, so we're expecting debris flows and water.
It's the usual preparation the day before a storm. Susan Midas is doing her part to keep the water away from her property, which is now flat land after her home burned down during the Eaton fire.
Hopefully keep the water from going onto our lot and causing further erosion and further destruction to our property.
Steps away from her property near Cheney Trail, fire crews could be spotted along the ridge, also prepping. Officials putting out an evacuation warning to residents along the foothills near San Gabriel and Altadena, starting 6 p.m. Thursday. A storm expected to hit LA and the surrounding areas Thursday through Saturday.
I basically scraped the whole place. I'm waiting for rain to push contaminants down.
Altadena resident Sean Dash is in the middle of rebuilding after the Eaton fire.
I'm here today only to cover everything up because it gets soaked, and you've got a lot of materials, like drywall, fresh drywall, that'll get ruined in the rain.
He has tarps on his roof and sandbags all around. His neighbors are also under action. This property pouring fresh concrete today.
This stuff is very exciting for us because we're starting to see the neighborhood come back to life.
A sign of a new amid so much uncertainty.
The rain here in SoCal is a good thing, so I'm happy to have it.
Now, as far as the evacuation warnings goes out to residents who live along the burn scar areas of the Palisades fire, the Kenneth fire, and the fire. I'm Lena Bourbon reporting live here at KTLA 5 News.
Thank you. The mother of missing Melody Buzzard was released from jail during a court appearance today. 40-year-old Ashley Buzzard was arrested last week on charges related to her daughter's disappearance. Buzzard is accused of brandishing a bomb to prevent a man from leaving home. Saturday plea of not guilty in county court, and the judge ordered to release conditions, including wearing a GPS monitoring device. Police has been uncooperative with investigation into her daughter's disappearance. We will have more details on this case at 4:30.
In other news, 2 people have been in an investigation into a shots fired inside a downtown LA apartment. Residents reported this gunfire about 5:30 this morning at the Broadway. This is over at Broadway and 11 Boulevard. Officers and a SWAT team swarmed the area. Residents were told just to shelter in place. Police eventually focused on a single unit. Suspects were said to be barricaded. After some negotiations, they were taken into custody. Thankfully, nobody got hurt.
The suspected minivan thief who fled to Mexico after a multi-county pursuit Monday is now in custody. U.S. officers intercepted the woman as she tried to re-enter the U.S. yesterday. She was handed off to CHP officers who also recovered the stolen minivan. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office identified the woman as 29-year-old Alyssa Wilson of Simi Valley. She faces 2 felony charges for unlawful taking of a vehicle and evading a peace officer with reckless disregard for public safety. Her bail is set at $50,000. Wilson is scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow afternoon. Monday's pursuit, which we brought you live here on KTLA, spanned more than 170 miles from Ventura County into Mexico.
We still have a lot more news ahead here at 4 o'clock.
David Lazarus joins us live. Hey, Laz.
Thank you, guys. Let's try.